So we have a storm that's passing, and these guys I left outside and they're holding up pretty well. They're pretty well established, and the rest of the other more delicate succulents, or at least my favorites that I don't want to be ruined, I brought inside the house, and I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. But I just wanted you to see the setup here. It was pretty windy last night. We had about 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, and these guys all held up pretty well. There is my fairy garden arrangement that's really growing. Everybody is very well watered right now because there's been a lot of rain. There's a little break in the storm now, but later on tonight we're gonna get the back end of it, and there will be strong winds again and more rain. But these guys all needed rain anyway. They all needed some water, so I did leave them out here, and I kind of just made everybody like really tight and close together so the winds don't blow them away. And you notice everything's pretty much in terracotta pots, so they should stay put. And here are my cuttings that really needed the rainwater. They are still rooting, but they did good. So I brought them indoors, the ones that I felt were a little bit more delicate than the ones I left outside, because the leaves might get, you know, broken off from strong winds. And really proud of this pot right here because these are Graptovaria fredives, guys, and I propagated all of these from leaf, and they've really grown. I mean, it's been a few months, but they're really growing, and soon I need to do a video of beheading them again so I can share it with you guys so they can be transferred into their own pots. See how they're all kind of leggy? That's because they were grown from leaves. So I need to cut those up soon and put them in their own pots so they can mature. And this here is my Purple Delight and some babies in there. And that is my Echeveria subsessilis Morning Beauty pot of babies. I did a video on how I separated those. And there's some more Purple Delights that were planted as cuttings that are getting really big. And there's my really pretty Pachyvaria clavifolia with all her stem babies. And then in the bottom I have some leaf propagations. I don't know why, but they look so much bigger indoors when I have them in here. My purple ones, look at my Graptopetalum murasaki right there. And then my cubic frost is nice and purple, and some Graptopetalum murasaki babies. Sorry guys, it's a little bit dark because it's, as I said, there's a storm passing, and it's really cloudy outside, and there should be more rains and winds later. There is my sedum salsa getting a little leggy, so I need to cut them up soon. My chryssulas that I recently transferred outside. It's been, I don't know, the weather has been really crazy, guys. We had 3 weeks of rain, a lot of showers throughout the day, and then all of a sudden we had really hot days and bad heat waves. And look, as it's been acclimatizing, this is only getting about 2 hours of morning sun. But look at the leaves, guys. Look at the leaves are starting to get sunburned. But I don't know, I moved them to a shadier location now outside, and hopefully the sunburning stops. But sometimes that's just a part of the acclimation process, especially when it gets really hot. So these grew indoors under my grow lights as cuttings, so they're really not used to the sun, and they're getting burned. But all the new growth should be pretty well acclimated. I mean, the plant overall is still doing okay. And then here I have some Graptopetalum superbum who were kind of underwatered for a while, and then it got really hot, so some of the leaves also got burned, but they are recovering. I just put them to the side, and you know, sometimes it takes a while for them to bounce back. And here are my sedum donkey's tails that have recovered. They didn't do well for a long time. They were under my lights for a little bit, recovering as cuttings. and they got real leggy. The lights just weren't strong enough for them, and so I transferred them outside, and then they eventually bounced back, and they're growing pretty nicely now. I just have to change the pot eventually. Here is my very leggy pot of sedum burrow's tail. There's a lot of leaves that I just dropped in there that are now growing. Those are all the little ones that you see in the pot popping up. I recently transferred them outdoors as well, and as I said, you know, the weather has been crazy. We've been getting rains and then heat waves, and then now there's a storm passing, and I want to show you something here. I recently, the past episode right before this, I just did a video on sunburn, and if you see these leaves right here, you can see that they're kind of translucent, and you know, compared to these greener ones up on top, right? So these weren't overwatered, guys, and you can see there's some burn marks actually on the tips of the leaves there. So the same thing, if you watch my last episode, that happened with my string of turtles. We had a bad heat wave, and these happened to be outside. Just like the effects of frost, when it gets too hot, it's almost like the leaves, water stores kind of get too hot inside and burn, or I don't know, boil or bake, and it cooks the leaves, and that's what happens. And this was because of too much heat. It literally turned those leaves into mush. So I'm guessing this part of the plant had some really direct hot sunlight on it, so that happened. There's various parts of the pot here where some of it happened to some of it, but then the rest of it, they're okay. It's just the bottom leaves. I don't know, maybe it did get overwatered because there was a lot of rain at the same time. It was just that it was really hot. But you know, I know obviously now that heat and rain combined just are not good, and this happens a lot. Another YouTuber, Florida Roy, was telling me that she noticed that when it rains a lot and then it gets really hot, this actually happens to her succulents as well. So let me know, guys, in the comments if you experience this same thing. And then here I have my Echeveria imbricata hybrid, and you know, from this angle it doesn't look really big because this has gotten really big for me in the past few months that I've been growing it outdoors. It's really been liking it. But look, when I shoot it from the side, look how big she is, guys. It's actually a lot bigger than it looks on when you see it like this, or when you see it in person than how I'm shooting it. But she is loving the outdoors. This succulent I do not water at all. It doesn't need a lot of water, and she's doing really good. She's fine with just getting rain here and there. And these are my really purple ones, Murasaki, and my Echeveria cubic frost doing really well with her baby in there. There's actually another baby growing. It's just I can't get under there without possibly removing some of the leaves. I need to repot that soon because it's going to outgrow that pot, and I want it to make more babies. And those are Murasaki stem babies, the smaller one there. These are my Graptopetalum Purple Delight leaf propagations that have gotten really chubby, and they're growing. I mean, despite so much rain, there's a lot of growth that happens. You just really have to watch. You just really have to watch signs of rot, because you never know when they get too much. And back to my Fredives and Purple Delight right up here. So I really just wanted to show you guys how they looked indoors, because I don't know, for some reason they just look different to me. I am gonna put them back outdoors maybe tomorrow when the storm passes, because we are expecting a lot of rain throughout the day and then really strong winds again tonight. I don't want their leaves to end up falling off or the stems to start breaking when the winds get too strong, because at night when you're trying to sleep, you could really hear the sound of the wind, like howling and stuff just kind of flying around outside. So I really wanted to make sure that they are safe. Look at my Echeveria
Dusty Rose. Look at my Echeveria Dusty Rose. Isn't she pretty? It's a lot more purple when you see it in person, but let me try to get behind it. Okay, I can't really. The angle is kind of hard for me, but it is so pretty. I grew this from a little baby on a stem, and she has really taken off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share with you what's been happening in my garden. So heat waves, rains, and then now a storm passing. That is how crazy our weather has been. And I'm just trying to make sure that my succulents stay okay, so they are just hanging out in here with me until tomorrow. Again, this is Christine from these Succulent Buddies. If you have any questions, please like this video and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.